Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Salutations to Shri Ganesh. Beloved of all, Ganesha represents Om, the primordial reality. Ganesha represents the grace-bestowing aspect of that reality which removes all our obstacles. At Shada Baba, students celebrated this auspicious festival by making Ganesha out of mud and clay, natural materials as he was made by Parvati. Students also listened to stories of Sri Ganesha from the Shiv Puran and discussed the importance and the relevance of these stories in our lives. Most importantly, students meditated silently on Ganesha within at the Muladhara Chakra, using the Bij mantra to awaken the Ganesha principle within, to invoke his presence in our lives within our heart. May we all find Ganesha within and experience Shubha and love in our lives. Vakratundaya Mahakaya Suryakoti Samprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namo Namaha. Suprabhatam. Do you know which festival we're going to celebrate today? Which one? Ganesha Chaturthi. So Ganesh is one of the 5 main gods of Hinduism. Shiva, Devi, Vishnu, Surya and Ganesha. Okay, there are a lot of people who worship Ganesha as the supreme reality, meaning the highest God, the absolute reality. And Ganesh is actually found everywhere, right? In all the homes, in shops, in cars. Have you seen Ganesha? In rickshaws, in vehicles. People carry a small murti of Ganesha with them all the time. Why do you think that is the case? Why is Ganesha so popular? Okay.
Because his name is Vignaharta.
Yes, his name is Vignaharta, so he removes Vigna. And Vigna means obstacles, obstacles in your life. He removes all obstacles. So people love him and he loves everyone. And that's why he removes our obstacles. But it's important to understand the essence of Ganesha Utsav or Ganesha Chaturthi. We'll see what people do nowadays to celebrate Ganesh Utsav, and you can tell me if it's appropriate or in line with what Ganesha represents. Okay, so let's start. This is an image of Ganesha. You can see I've written Ganesha both ways. At the top, I've written Ganesha the way people spell it normally in English. At the bottom, I've written with diacritical marks. G-A-N with a dot under N because Ana. And there's a slanting, can you see the slanting line over S? That's Sha, Talavya Sha, okay? From your Talu, from your palate, Sha. So Ganesha, got it? Gana means attendant. Whose Ganas are we talking about? Ganas of Shiva. Shiva has a lot of attendants. And Isha means the Lord, the master. So Ganesha is the master of all the attendants of Shiva. He is the master of all of them. Okay. Gana means a unit, right? Like one block. So these are all our senses. All our senses. And Ganesha is the master of all the senses. He can control the senses. He is the God who dwells where? Where does God dwell? Which is the next question. Where is Ganesha? Where can we find him? Okay, somebody else. Laksh.
Ganesha is everywhere.
He's everywhere, but if you have to find him, if I look everywhere, I won't be able to see him. So where will I first look for him? Here, Diyan. Where is the first place I should look for Ganesha?
Muladhara Chakra.
Very good, absolutely right. So this is the Muladhara, and where is Muladhara Chakra found, Diyan? Inside or outside?
Inside.
Inside our body, okay? So let's look at the physiology of that. So here's an artist painting Ganesha along with the Muladhara Chakra. How many petals does it have? Everybody say together. 4 petals. It's like a flower, okay? So remember that. There is a circle inside, which is a central circle, and then there's a square inside that, okay? And inside that is this a letter that's written. Can everybody say which letter that is? Lam, okay? That is the Bij mantra, the root mantra of Ganesha. Also used here, oftentimes they say Gam Ganapataye Namaha, right? So Gam is also a mantra. These are all mantras that can awaken your potential. Then there's also triangle inside, which is where Ganesha dwells. Ganesha dwells. Now, where is Muladhara Chakra? On the other side, you see there's a diagram of which system. Can somebody tell me which physiological system does that represent? System, okay?
Brain system.
Your brain and the spinal cord, that represents, okay, give it to him.
Nervous system.
Very good, absolutely correct. Nervous system, the brain and the spinal cord together. Okay, that's the basis of the nervous system. Then you got all the nerves that go throughout the body which allow you to sense stimuli. You can feel because of the nervous system. It's absolutely important. If you're restless, it's because your nervous system is not balanced. Okay, many other systems might also not be balanced, including the digestive system, which is the main system. So, nervous system, the brain is something that makes us different than animals. Can somebody tell me how? What is different about our brain than the brain of the animals?
We can think more than animals.
Absolutely. We can think better, we can think higher thoughts. And why is that? Thinking is in the mind. And what is different about the brain? Is it smaller than the size of the brain in other animals or bigger? Bigger, right? Human brain is bigger, so it can think more, it has more grey matter, it's called grey matter. It can think better, it can think about the future and the past as well. And the source of the brain is the spinal cord, okay? Spinal cord is at the root of the brain, and at the root of the spine, at the bottom you see that pointed structure, that's where we have the Muladhara Chakra. So, if you dissect the body, if you cut the body open, will you see the Muladhara Chakra with your eyes? No, because the Muladhara Chakra is in the subtle body, the Sukshma Sharira. The central nervous system is in the Sthula Sharira. So, in the Sthula Sharira you have the spinal cord, in the Sukshma Sharira you have the Sushumna Nadi, and at the base of the spine you have the Muladhara Chakra, and that's where Ganesha resides. That's the first chakra. Got it? And that's where there is a Shakti called Kundalini Shakti. Kundal means coiled. So this is the Shakti which is like it is in the shape of a serpent, a snake, which is coiled 3.5 times. And when it awakens, this is the first chakra that it pierces. So that Shakti, this is Ganesha, and where does Shiva dwell?
Sahasrara.
Sahasrara, so at the top, okay. Alright, next. So we'll hear a short story today and then we'll analyze, okay, we'll discuss the story. Many of you might know this story, but listen carefully to how I tell the story, okay. Ganesha also has a brother. Can everybody tell me together what his name is? Karttikeya, okay. Elder brother or younger brother? Elder brother. Yes, Karttikeya was born first according to the Shiva Puran. And one day Narad Muni, who's always roaming around in the skies, comes to Shiva and Parvati. And where do they dwell? Which mountain? Kailash Parvat, okay. Only God who lives on earth. Vishnu dwells in Vaikuntha and Brahma dwells in Brahmalok. Devi dwells in Mani Dweep. All these are higher worlds, but Shiva dwells in Kailash, okay, on the mountain. Very cold there, ice cold, and very peaceful. And Narad Muni comes there with a special fruit, like mango, similar to a mango. And he says, this is Gnanafal, the fruit of wisdom. You've heard of this fruit before, right? Which story? You remember the story of the Bible? There was also a fruit. Okay, anyway, so Narad Muni comes with a fruit and he says that here I've brought this for you and your family. So Parvati, what does a mother do when she gets something and she has 2 children? What will she do? She'll cut it to share with both the children. But Narad Muni says, no, you can't do that. Only one person can eat this fruit. So now she's in a fix. She starts thinking, what can we do now? So Shiva and Parvati tell Ganesha and Karttikeya that let's have a race. Let's play a game. Okay, whoever circumambulates this entire universe, this entire creation that we have made, Shiva and Parvati, Shiva and Shakti have made this creation. Whoever can circumambulate, meaning do pradakshina 3 times and come back first will get the fruit. Simple? Are the rules clear? Yes? So Karttikeya is fast. He's the god of war. He's the army general. Okay, so he has a vehicle, a mount, which is a peacock. Okay, in fact, you can see that here if you look carefully. He's flying on a peacock. So he says this is easy. He goes on a peacock, he starts, and his speed is really fast. And Ganesha, what does he have for his Mushak? Mushak as his mount or vehicle, which is not so fast compared to a peacock. And plus, Ganesha is plump, you know that, right? He's not so fit. So it's going to take him time to move. But he doesn't get dejected, he doesn't get sad, he thinks. Karttikeya has already started his journey and is already traveling around the stars, galaxies, okay, planets, and he's going around once, he's already gone around once. And Ganesha there, he's sitting and thinking. He's thinking outside the box. How can I come before Karttikeya by thinking in a way in which most people don't think. Okay, this is called thinking outside the box. In the box means Karttikeya is following what is told, how he has already thought before, how he has been thinking, how we all have been thinking. Race, you run. Ganesha is sitting, he's not running. And suddenly he says, who is my world? My parents. My parents represent everything to me. My mother and father. I respect them like gods, as living gods. That's why we touch the feet of our parents, right? And so Karttikeya is going around the world, which is the objective world, with science studies. Let me go around my world. My world is my parents. I don't know anything more than that. My parents are everything to me. So he just does pradakshina of his parents, Shiva and Parvati, once, twice, thrice, and he says, done. And Karttikeya is still going around galaxies. And when Karttikeya comes back, he sees Ganesha already eating the fruit. So he is upset. He says, what is this? This is cheating. That's what he thinks. This is cheating. But then the parents explain to him that that's not what it is. Ganesha went around his world. This is his world. You went around the objective world. He went around his subjective world. So Ganesha is smart. Okay, he doesn't just run where other people are running. He thinks, he pauses, and then does what feels right to him and what is the right thing to do in that particular situation. He represents Buddhi. You know Ganesha's wives, one is Siddhi and Buddhi. Yeah, he represents Buddhi. Siddhi is attainment. So now let's draw 2 columns, Ganesha and Karttikeya, okay? Write Karttikeya on one side. Karttikeya, by the way, was born from Kritika Nakshatra. Kritika Nakshatra is a cluster of stars, and that's why his name is Karttikeya. Okay. Okay. So that's Karttikeya. Karttikeya. Yeah. And Ganesha on the other side. That's good. Dot under N for Ana and line over S. Okay. Now, if Karttikeya represents achievement, then what does Ganesha represent? Let's think about that. When the race was declared, what did Karttikeya go for? He went around the stars and planets and galaxies to win the race, right? He represents the desire to win. He represents achievement. What are the achievements we think of when we think of life? Like medals, awards, competitions, right? When we win competitions, certificates, degrees, right? Prizes. Who doesn't like that? Everybody likes that. So let's look, Karttikeya represents achievements. Achievements in your life. Are they important? Yes or no? Yes, they are important, okay? But let's see how important they are and what is more important according to the story. E. M-E-N-T. Achievements. M-E-N-T-S. Okay. And Ganesha, did he look at or think about, okay, I want to win the race? Was that his first thought? No. He thought about, what does the world mean to me? What is the definition of the world? So what did he focus on? Values, right? Values means respecting our parents, respecting our elders. That represents values, V-A-L-U-E-S. Values. What other values do we study or imbibe at our school or at our home? Can you think of something? Like when you get up in the morning, what's the first thing we must do? Have you heard of bowing down to the earth? Before we touch our feet to the earth? Yeah? And then when sun rises, what do we do to the sun? We pranam to the sun, right? Surya Namaskar, Surya Arghya, boys do Sandhya. So there are many ways, and you can look at the sun, there's sun gazing techniques. Basically, you worship the sun. You worship the earth when you get up, you worship the sun. What else? Do we visit a temple, a mandir, before we come to school? Yeah? And when we come to school, do we just start studying or do we pray first? We pray first. Who do we pray to? Saraswati, right? Because she's a goddess of learning, goddess of knowledge, goddess of arts. In fact, Shada Prabha, Shada means Saraswati. Okay, so we pray to her first. We meditate on her. And we seek her blessings. We seek the blessings of our parents before we come to school. We seek the blessings of our teachers when we come to school. So we are constantly seeking blessings. We seek the blessing of our ancestors, Pittu, when we come to school or when we do anything. And when we begin any task, whose blessings do we seek? Before we begin any task or any endeavor, whose blessings, which god do we worship first?
Ganesha.
Ganesha. Okay. Ganesha is why, that's why we are understanding why he's worshipped first. Because he represents values. Values in your life. What is important for you? Okay. Go to the next slide. This was Ganesha versus Karttikeya. Versus means two are competing with each other in a ways. Now I have put Ganesha and Karttikeya. Both are important. But we worship Ganesha first. He comes first in the race. That means we worship him first. In Muladhara Chakra is the first chakra. You go to any home, there is always Ganesha is Ganesha at the entrance of the home or in a dark place at the end? At the entrance. Ganesha is always first. He is known as the threshold guardian. Threshold means not inside, not outside. At the threshold, like Narasimha Avatar. At the threshold. He is the threshold guardian. He allows you in. And who gets entry? Those who have values in their life. Understand? What values? The values that we just spoke about. Worshipping, respecting, and bowing down to elders, teachers, gods, rishis, sages, munis, okay, sadhus. These are our values. This is called Sanskriti. Ganesha represents Sanskriti. Okay, so while achievements are important, like you might have a lot of prizes, awards, medals, degrees, certificates, all of that. But what if you don't have values? Have you lived a fulfilling human life? No. What is the purpose of human life? To embody these values. It's called dharma. You've heard of that word before, right? Dharma. To follow dharma is the purpose of human life. If you're a teacher, your dharma is to teach. If you're a student, your dharma is to study, learn something. So both are important. So here you see both are together. They're complementary. They go together. They're brothers. Both are worshipped. but Ganesha is worshipped first. Okay, now Karttikeya represents speed. So right there. Speed means how fast you're going. Like if we say, okay, it's time for a break. Some people focus on speed and some people say, no, speed is not important. What is important? Let's say your goal is in this direction and you're speeding up in this direction. Will you achieve the goal? Will you reach your destination? No. Speed is important, but what is more important than speed? Direction. Okay, we talked about direction. North, south, east, west. Direction is more important. So Ganesha represents direction. He thought about where to go before going. Karttikeya just took off. Make sense? Direction. So between speed and direction, both are important. Okay, if you want to attain something in life. But first think about your direction. Karttikeya is the god of war. He is the army general. He takes care of all the soldiers. For the gods, for the devatas, whenever they wage a war, Karttikeya is their chief, the army general. Okay, so because he has weapons, he knows how to use weapons. It's known as hard power. Hard power. HARDPOWER. Hard power means your strength, physical strength. What does Ganesha represent? Can somebody tell me the opposite of hard power? Kripali?
Soft power.
Soft power, right? Soft power is culture. So, music, dance, food, clothing, that represents soft power. So, you can influence somebody through hard power, through your physical strength, through your military strength. This happens between countries also. You can also influence people and nations through your soft power. For example, in the US or in the West in general, India is known for its soft power. Indian tradition has spread throughout the world. Have we conquered anybody through our military? No. Have we gone on a war, an expansion victory through war? No. How did we spread our culture? Through soft power, through music, through yoga, Ayurveda, Jyotish, food. Indian cuisine is loved by everyone. Yoga is loved by everyone. People practice yoga all around the world. Meditation is practiced all around the world. All these originated in India but spread around the world. Right? So Indian culture spread around the world. Sanskrit is spread around the world, not through hard power. We didn't force anybody to follow. Come on, do meditation. Okay, meditate, do yoga. Otherwise, I'll wage a war with you or I'll kill you. If you don't meditate, you're not a good person. If you don't meditate, we'll fight with you. Is this how we spread meditation? No, people experience something when they start to meditate and do yoga. People loved Indian food. People still love Indian food. People love Indian music, Indian classical music. Sitar, santoor, Bansuri. Remember Krishna playing the Bansuri? Ganesha plays the pakhwaj. Shiva plays the damu. Narad plays the veena. Saraswati plays the veena, right? All the gods have some of the other instruments and weapons as well. So they have music instruments and weapons, both soft power and hard power. We need hard power to defend ourselves. We need soft power to spread goodness in this world. Make sense? Both are important. Ganesha, both are worshipped. Karttikeya is worshipped in South India more. Ganesha is worshipped in North India more. But Ganesha is worshipped first wherever you go. First values, first direction, first soft power and then hard power and speed and achievements. Okay. So here you see both of them in harmony. Both are being good brothers, not fighting, not competing, but having both. So Ganesha has Mushak and the fruit. You see the fruit in his hand? The fruit goes to Ganesha. So it's called Gnanaphal, the fruit of wisdom, knowledge. And if you have values, if you know your direction, if you have soft power, if you embody soft power means you're a cultural ambassador, meaning you embody arts and knowledge of this culture. If you have all that, you have knowledge. If you just have achievements, do you have knowledge necessarily? Not necessary. You could have just been a competitive person, or you could have memorized something written in your exam, gotten good marks, gotten a good score, got a good report card, degrees, awards, but actually you know nothing. You don't even know how to respect other people, which is the basic aspect of education, how to respect other people. Yeah. So let's draw 3 circles. So this is something you can think about. It's called the golden circle. 3 circles, one inside another. That's 1. That's number 2. This is often used in leadership. So for all those who want to be leaders, in fact, all of you must be leaders in your life of some kind, okay? You don't have to necessarily lead everybody else, but in your life, you're a leader. And it's important to know this principle. This is called the golden circle. Can everybody say it together? Is there any gold there? No. So what's golden about it? It's like a very important lesson. The gold is the lesson. Okay. So let me show you. So this is the innermost circle. This is the outermost circle. Right? Outermost circle is Karttikeya. So you start with what? What do you want to do in life? You start with that. And that's how most people start. So for example, you want to study. So the what would be education. What are you here for? Education. And most people just end at that. So they never actually become leaders in life. This is Karttikeya type of mindset. Focus on achievement only, nothing else. But Ganesha represents something deeper. Ganesha represents the innermost circle and the second circle. This one is why. Why do you want to study? You want to study because you want to just get a degree? Is that the purpose of education? Just to get a degree? Then what is the real purpose of education? Can somebody tell me? Okay. Okay, anybody from this side? What is the purpose of education? Why do we come to school? Why do we study? Okay, give it to Harsh. Pass it on, give it to Rishi. Pass it on to Harsh.
To learn.
Very good. To learn, to constantly learn, right? We don't stop when we don't learn just for the exam. We constantly learn something or the other. And when we constantly learn, our why is constant learning in life, because that is the purpose of human life, to constantly learn so that we know more about ourselves and nature around us. Second is how, in the middle. Once you know your why, then you have to figure out how do I constantly learn? What are some basic steps I need to do to constantly learn? I need to focus. I need to sit still. I need to listen more. I need to listen attentively. I need to listen carefully. I need to practice. That is the how. And then the what? Degrees, medals, awards, prizes, applause from crowd, right? People, if you start from here, you will have speed, but you will not have direction. Yeah, direction. You won't have direction. You might have some achievements, but you won't have values. You won't have any values in your life. And I'll show you how today people might have achievements, but they don't have values. Go to the next slide. This is how people celebrate Ganesha Chaturthi. Does this represent values? No. You remember the pre-primary annual day last year? One act was on Ganesha Chaturthi, right? Pollution. I've shown 3 kinds of pollution here. There are more. So the first, and by the way, this happens because they make Ganesh moortis out of what? Plaster. Yeah, plaster of Paris, POP, which is full of chemicals. Okay, it's not supposed to be used to make moortis, but people use it because they don't have values. They don't respect nature. They don't respect the gods that they're worshipping. They have no direction in life. They don't know why they're doing it. They're just focusing on the doing aspect of it. They're just doing it. Have they questioned why? Why are we doing this? No questioning. They don't realize that this is actually harming our culture and our image also. Okay, while yoga, meditation, Ayurveda, all these teach purity, sanctity, cleanliness, our practices like this by people are showing the opposite of that we are creating pollution. So first one is land pollution. You see the leftmost image, on the land there are all these Ganesha moortis that they had submerged, they had done Visarjan of, but then obviously they come back up because they can't dissolve in water. POP doesn't dissolve in water. Okay, what's the second pollution? Can somebody guess? Okay, who has the mic?
Water pollution.
Water pollution, absolutely correct. Because after what, a few days after 14 on Anant Chaturdashi, they submerge the murti, and the murtis are big, and the murtis are made of POP or some other chemical, and they submerge and nothing happens to the murti. It just gets washed off to the shore, and there it is. And what does it do to the aquatic animals? It harms them, right? It harms them and it harms us. We chant that mantra, Jauhu Shanti Antarikshagum Shantihi Prithvi Shanti Apaha. Apaha means water. We are praying that may the water be at peace so that we may be at peace. May we be at peace so the water be at peace. How much of the earth is water? 3/4, which is 70 to 75% is water. And here we are polluting water. Okay? We are polluting the remaining 30-35% land as well. And air is also polluted because a lot of people burst firecrackers. They burn firecrackers in Ganesha Chaturthi. So air is also polluted, water is also polluted, land is also polluted. And through space, sound travels, right? You've heard that, right? We've studied that. Space is the element, and the tanmatra, the sukshma tanmatra of space is sound. Through space, sound travels. And what are we doing with sound? We're polluting that also. Sound pollution, noise pollution. How? By having, exactly, absolutely, DJ music, loud music, through loudspeakers, banging music which you cannot tolerate. And it hurts your ears, your eardrums. Then what do people get? They get headaches. They get migraines, okay, diseases of the brain, conditions. They cannot sleep properly. And people are doing it, but then that sound, that noise travels everywhere. Have you been a victim of that? Have you heard that kind of noise here? On weddings, especially on Ganesha Chaturthi, people do that. Is it necessary? No. You remember pre-primary children last year? They asked that question to the audience. That Ganesha, he receives and he expects your affection, your bhakti in silence. Is it necessary to play loud music? Can't we just chant some devotional songs to Ganesha? Which is better? Chanting devotional songs, right? Ganesha was made out of clay by Parvati. Some say by her, in fact, through the skin particles of her skin cells. Okay, so Parvati represents, Shakti represents nature. So he's made out of nature. And are we using natural materials to make Ganesha? No, we're using POP. We're using plastic. We're using plastic bags to offer flowers and leaves to Ganesha. Which flowers, by the way? Hibiscus is what is his favorite flower. Any flower that you offer, they use plastic bags. Okay, and Ganesha considers Ganga as his mother. Ganga represents purity, and we are polluting water when we use plastic to offer flowers and leaves to Ganesha. Does that make any sense? So this is the contradictory behavior of humans, right? What can we do? So we are doing something. What is the solution for pollution? Good. Okay, these are images from our school. So last year, you see, pre-primary children made Ganesha out of mud from the ashram soil. So that is absolutely biodegradable. It's made from mud, it goes back into mud. And you can do the Visarjan in the tub itself, okay, in the water. You can do it yourself. And do we need big idols, big murtis, big statues of Ganesha? Is it necessary? Ganesha is infinite. You cannot capture him in a murti. So small murti is enough with devotion, with bhakti. That's what he asked for. Okay, here also, remember, how many of you remember we made Ganesha out of fruits, vegetables, leaves, flowers? In fact, some of you are in those photos. So you can do that. Okay, eco-friendly Ganesha. You can make Ganesha out of natural materials. So it is important to, why are we celebrating Ganesha Chaturthi? To make noise, to pollute the land, to pollute air, to pollute water? No, we are celebrating Ganesha to discover Ganesha within ourselves, to awaken the Muladhara Chakra. And how can we do that? By bhakti, by praying, by singing devotional songs, by making Ganesha out of eco-friendly material, by meditating on Ganesha, by listening to stories of Ganesha, by meditating on Ganesha at the Muladhara Chakra. That's how you worship Ganesha. And then the what will be, what's the fruit you get from Ganesha? Did you see the board outside? In fact, at any home you'll see, traditional home, they'll have Ganesha and Shubha Labh. He brings, Labh means profit, prosperity. Okay, you'll get wealth. And Shubha, auspiciousness, goodness in your life. So whatever Karttikeya will follow Ganesha. This achievements will follow. Imagine you have, write down 1-0. No, 0. Just 1, yeah. What is the value of 0? 0. 2, write 1 more 0. What is the value of 2 zeros? Sure? Write 1 more. Now there are 3 zeros. What's the value? So these are your achievements. You got a good grade, you got a good report card, okay? Top student, lot of medals. Okay, let's keep putting zeros. Everybody clap when you danced or did some artwork or you got good grades. Or you want to clap? Okay, these are all your claps. Okay, all right. Enough. These, no, I didn't say everybody clap, I said everybody clapped when you got good grades. So these are your claps. The whole society clapped. These are all your achievements. What's the value of your achievements? Nothing. Unless and until you put a 1 here. This is your values, okay? Your value is the digit before the zeros. Now what is the value? No, not. Give me a number. Okay. No. How many zeros does a crore have? Somebody tell me. How many zeros does a crore have? Huh? This is lakh. How many zeros does a crore have? Okay, you go back to your maths class. This is one, but how many zeros does a crore have? No. 7. Alright, so now does that make sense? That unless you add a 1, this has no value. Okay, I think that's it. We have one last slide. So we will actually do that. What we must do on Ganesh Chaturthi, meditate for at least few minutes. Okay, so sit up properly. You see this? Muladhara Chakra. This is a painting. In the middle you can see Ganesha. Okay, and people have experienced Ganesha at the Muladhara Chakra. So it's absolutely possible. If you do it properly, you will experience Ganesha. And Ganesha is remover of obstacles. He removes all obstacles in your mind. He opens up your mind, okay, so that you can find, like just how he found a solution. You saw how he found a solution? Like that. He's smart, he's witty, he has creative thinking, he embodies creative thinking. He can solve problems. And you can also do that if you meditate on Ganesha. Okay, so but the first requirement is to sit up straight. Your spine has to be straight. If your spine is bent, crooked, hunchback, not possible for Ganesha to wake up. Second step is to gently close your eyes so that you can see, experience, feel Ganesha within. And you can keep your hands on your knees for now. And we'll chant the Bij Mantra Lam. Softly close your eyes. You can place your left palm on your right palm and place both palms in the middle of your lap. Take a deep breath in. First listen to how I chant the Bij Mantra Lam, and then we'll all chant it together. Focus on your Muladhara Chakra and imagine Ganesha in your mind. Meditate on Ganesha, draw him in your mind's eye with the color red. Color him red like the clay. He's made of clay. He is Mother Earth. He is all the elements. He is the source of this entire creation. He is the substance of this entire creation. And He is the absolute reality. He dwells within as consciousness. So first listen to how I chant it and then we'll chant it together. We invite Ganesha to come and dwell at the Muladhara Chakra. That is real celebration of Ganesha Chaturthi. Not bringing just a murti home, but actually inviting and invoking Ganesha within ourselves at the Muladhara Chakra. Gajananam bhutaganaadisevitam kapetha jambu phalacharubhaktam Umasutam sho kavinashakayakam Namami Vigneshwara Padakam. So we'll have a break and then we'll make Ganesh out of POP. Then out of what? Mud. And we'll play loud DJ music. No. What will we do? Devotional songs? Okay. Alright, we'll do that. And we'll make laddoos.
So remember, no sugar, no jaggery, no honey. Your sweet balls will have sweetness due to these dates.
So we are celebrating Ganesha Chaturthi, and in this shloka we chanted Gajananam, the one who has Anan, face like a Gaj. Gaj is elephant. And which kind of fruits does he like? Kapitha jambu phalacharu bhakshanam. Charu is nice, like what you like, right? What is dear to you. And so what does he like to eat? He likes to eat kapitha and jambu. So, you know jamun and kapitha? Who knows kapitha? It's called kothu in Gujarati. You know kothu? We don't have it here. It's not available in Valsad right now. So next time I'll try to get it and show you. It's hard. It has a hard covering like a bale fruit. Have you all seen a bilva fruit? It's called bale in Hindi and bilva in Sanskrit. You have seen? It's hard, right? So it looks exactly like that. Only the surface is a little irregular. And it is sour in taste. So what is the taste of the kapitha fruit? Sour, right? In English, it's called wood apple. So you could just write wood apple somewhere here. It's called wood apple in English, and kapitha in Sanskrit. In Gujarati, it's called kothu. So Ganeshi likes that sour fruit, and he likes jamun. You all had jamun? Yes? So he likes these fruits. And what kind of belly does he have? Is he very slim and trim? Is he very skinny? No, he has a big pot belly, right? So, and what does he like to eat? Modak. That is what he's shown, in most pictures eating. At the same time, we need to balance this. If you eat a lot of sweet, what's going to happen to you? If you go on eating sweet, what disease will you get? Diabetes, very good. So, to counteract that sugar, because there's too much sugar, so you need something to balance that. So, he's very clever, isn't it? He's always worshipped in the beginning of study, any auspicious occasion. Why? Because he's very clever. His buddhi, his intellect is very sharp. So he knows how to balance it. He has kapitha and jambu, that is jamun. And these are anti-diabetic. That is, they decrease the blood sugar. So he doesn't get any disease. Okay? So now this Varsha Ritu and Ganesh Chaturthi comes in which Ritu? Or which season? What season is this? Rainy season, right? And how many seasons are there? 3. 6. So according to the Western concept, there are 3 seasons. But Indian tradition, we count 6 seasons, right? Our Indian climate is so perfect, and it has 6 seasons. And they come in time. Now we are spoiling that. We are spoiling the environment. We learned about plastic pollution, right? So by using plastic and all the other things that we are doing, we are causing global warming, and it is changing the seasons. But traditionally, we have 6 seasons, and our farming, our lifestyle, everything, our festivals, they are all based on the seasons, right? Our culture is so scientific that even the festivals are based on the seasons. So many people fast for Ganesh Chaturthi. Do you know people fast for Ganesh Chaturthi during the Ganesha festival? So this Varsha Ritu, which element? There are 5 elements. Do you all know there are 5 elements? Yes? So which is the heaviest element? Earth. And which chakra is that? Muladhara. And who sits there? Ganesh right? And so that's the heaviest element. Then what's the next element? Water. Then fire. Then air. And the lightest? Space. So which element is predominant in this season? Do you see anything around? Water, yes. So the clouds, so the predominant element is water. You can just write water. So now what does water do? We have these 5 elements, right? And we have, what do we have inside us? Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam, yes. So what is there inside us? Fire. And what does fire do? What does water do to the fire? Does it increase the fire or does it suppress the fire? Right? So the fire is suppressed. So you can write here that the fire is suppressed, isn't it? So if your fire is suppressed, should you be eating more or less? Less. So rainy season is the season to fast. If you see, our culture is so beautifully designed by our rishis. So this is the fasting season. So we have the Janamashtami fast. We have fasts during the Ganesh festival. Then we have the Sombar or the Monday fast during Shravan Mas. Isn't it? So there are so many fasts that we undertake during this rainy season. Why? Because it's raining and there's so much water and it is suppressing the fire. Have you seen anyone fasting on Deepavali? Does anyone fast on Deepavali? No. Right? So in the winters, there's no fast. There's no fasting festival after October. Right? November, December, January, no fast at all. Because our fire is strong. So we must eat at that time. So we prepared these modak laddoos to offer to Lord Ganesha. And we prepared it with our own hands. So we put in not only the ingredients, but what did we pour out from our heart? Love and devotion and gratitude, right? For Lord Ganesha, for all that we have received from him. So, therefore, these are definitely much better than what you get in the market, isn't it? And whenever we have a puja, we offer naivedya. We offer something as prasad. And so, if we make it ourselves, we put in that emotion, that love, and that gratitude, and which makes it even better. And plus, it doesn't contain any harmful substance, right? In the market, you don't know what all they put. They put in so many chemicals, colors, preservatives. So this doesn't have that. And also, as ma'am told us, these are sugar-free, right? We didn't add any artificial, we didn't add any refined sugar. So they're made of dates and nuts. But the fire is low, isn't it? Fire is suppressed. So we have to take them only as prasad. It's not a meal, isn't it? You will want to eat more than one. But dil mange more, isn't it? But you have to take it as prasad because it is not a meal. You're not enjoying a dessert. You're enjoying prasad, right? It's important to remember that. In this season, sweets should be kept minimum. So also, what is the second factor that happens when there's a lot of water? One is the fire gets suppressed, and when there's a lot of water or dampness, what starts growing? Yes, arm is the toxin inside us, but in the environment, what happens? Mosquitoes, very good. What else? Plants, yes. And if you leave food outside, what happens? What grows in that? There'll be flies and there'll be bacteria, there'll be germs, isn't it? Will it remain good or will it go bad quickly because of the moisture? Huh? Yes. So it will decay, ferment very quickly. So there's a lot of chance of germs developing. Because of this moisture, it helps the growth of germs. So that's why people fall sick. And as we already heard that the next season that's coming is Sharad Ritu, which is the mother of all illness. So in another 15 days, we will be entering Sharad Ritu. And so this if we don't take care of our health now, then we will fall sick then, right? So the water, it helps the germs to grow. It helps the bacteria, the viruses, the fungi to grow. So that's why we have to be careful of our Agni. We should not have any arm. If there is arm inside, then the bacteria, the viruses will grow easily, right? Okay, so what kind of food should you have during this season? Light or heavy? Light. So our diet should be light. And what about the taste? How many tastes are there? How many tastes? 1, 2, 3, 4, like whatever you eat. How many types of tastes are there? Sweet, sour, salty. How many tastes? No? Shadaras. So there are 6 tastes. How many? 6 tastes. So there's sweet, there's salty, there is sour, there's bitter. What else? You know spicy? So there's spicy and there's astringent. Astringent is like amla, right? Or like supari, betel nut. Something which chokes your throat. Okay? So there are 6 tastes. So, what do you think, which taste will increase fire during this season? What will increase fire? Will sweet increase fire? Salt increase fire? Or spicy increase fire? What will increase fire? Our digestive fire. Which taste? Spicy, yes. So spicy taste will increase fire. So we can write here spicy, light comma, spicy, and salt. If you put salt in your mouth, then when it goes inside, you feel like eating something. Yes? And what about sour? If you have some lemon, if you have lemon and salt, you feel the Vaishwanar Agni increasing, isn't it? So there's spicy, there is salty, and spicy, salty, and sour, right? These are the 3 tastes which are very good for this season, right? So I've brought something for you. You're going to have the prasad, but we're going to taste this. And let me see if you can taste something. So can you just go around, give them like just a pinch, everyone. If you want to take it out in this and just give them a pinch, just like one pinch. So we don't want to increase the heat too much. So we have to use some spices, some herbs, which are not very overtly heating, but they provide some warmth. And we need to use salt and sour ingredients in our food. Okay, so that will increase the digestive fire. So chaat masala is a very good thing to have during this season. Chaat masala is sour and salty, and it has some spice also in it, correct? And black salt, have you heard of black salt? Kala namak. So that is also very good to have, and we have that also, and you can taste it. So those are the spices that we should add to our food, and also cumin seeds, jeera. Okay? And during this season, because the digestion is suppressed, we get gas. So we have to use herbs that help to reduce the gas. So asafoetida, you all know asafoetida? Hing, correct? So that's very good to use during this season. And there is one spice, who will tell me that? The one spice which is being called the mother of all spices. 1 minute. It's called Vishwa Bheshaj. Vishwa, that is the whole world. And Bheshaj means medicine. So it's the medicine of the world. Yes, you raise your hand first. No. What? Red chili powder. Oh my God, no. And by the way, chilies were not grown in India. It's not an Indian spice. They came to us from Mexico, right? Many years ago, they came to us from Mexico. In India, chilies were never used. We used black pepper and, yes? No. Cardamom, no. So ginger. Ginger is Vishwa Bheshaj. That means it is the spice of the world. That's like the best spice. It is used and it doesn't produce too much heat. So even if you have burning, you can use it. And it reduces all the three, Vat, Pitta and Kapha. Right? So you must use ginger during this season. Okay? And what about the lifestyle? Because we get gassy and it's raining. So should we be sleeping more or less during this season? Do you feel sleepy during this season? Who feels more sleepy during this season? Raise your hands. If you feel more sleepy during this season, raise your hands. Okay. And do you know why you feel more sleepy during the season? Who knows why we feel more sleepy? Yes. Because it's cold, okay. And what happens because it's cold? Even in winters, it's cold. And what is the difference between winter and rainy season? Both seasons are cold. What's the predominant element? Water. And what does water do to the fire? It suppresses the fire. And once the fire in the body is suppressed, what is created in the body? Arm, yes. And that arm creates drowsiness. So if you're feeling drowsy, it means your body has arm. So, and if you sleep, will the fire get ignited or will it get further suppressed? It gets further suppressed. So you should never, never, never sleep during the day in the monsoon season. In fact, you should not sleep during the day, but some sleep during the afternoon is permitted in very hot summers. But definitely during the monsoon, you should not sleep. So no daytime sleep. And what about exercise? Should you be exercising more or less? No. You should be exercising less. You should exercise more in winters and in the spring season. Because here our body strength is low, and also there is a lot of Vat, there's a lot of gas. And so remember we discussed Kapha, Pitta and Vat. So Vat is movement. So if there's already too much Vat and with exercise you increase movement, so the Vat will get aggravated too much. So that is why in the olden times in Chaturmas, have you heard of Chaturmas? No? So Chatur, what is Chatur? How many? 4. So Chaturmas is what? What is mas? In Sanskrit? Month. Okay? So Chaturmas is 4 months. The 4 months during the rains where people stayed in one place, they did not travel, especially the rishis, the sages, they stayed in one place, they did not travel. Why? Because traveling is difficult during the monsoon. Also the Agni is low. So if they are traveling, they might not get the right kind of food. Isn't it? So, and plus the environment makes it prone to infection. So there's so many reasons why you don't travel, and this is a time to go within, to contemplate, to meditate. So that is why traveling was forbidden during Chaturmas. So exercise has to be reduced and travel also has to be minimized. Okay? So these are the lifestyle changes and the dietary changes we make during this season. So can anyone sum up what are the dietary changes and the lifestyle changes that we should be following during the monsoon season? Anyone? Yes. We should not overeat, very good. Yeah, junk food you should never eat. Should you eat light food or heavy food? Light food. And what taste should the food be? It should be slightly sour, salty, bit of spice, lots of ginger, and it should be warm, no cold food, correct? And it should be slightly oily, right? Some oil, because Vata is drying, but also not too much oil, so that it's not heavy to digest. So warm, hot food, right? Warm food like warm khichdis, soups, and such foods that are easy to digest. And we should not travel too much, not exercise too much. That's why we can play indoor games in the season, avoid outdoor games. And Most importantly, respect our Agni, because the water element is predominant and it will suppress the Agni. So now when we take prasad, we take it as prasad and not as dessert or a big meal, not as something which we want to just consume for taste, but with that gratitude that we all that we have, and as a mark of gratitude and respect for the Lord. Okay, thank you.